कि अभी आपकी जरूरत है। आज हम we would like to welcome you all on behalf of Independent Research Ethics Society, AYUSH Samriddhi International Webinar Series at milestone of 2,362 in 5 years and 894 in 365 days. So without any interruption, due to blessings of Gurudev, this journey is endless up to the infinite. So today's topic is VijayA, BhAnga, Research and Development. And today we are really overwhelmed and glad. We would like to communicate our best regards to Dr. Muralidhar P, Senior Advisory Healthcare Consultant, Consultant Advisory Entrepreneur Mentor for so many organizations, including T-Hub, NISMI, Healthcare, ILIP, Niti Aayog from Hyderabad. Welcome, Dr. Muralidhar sir. Welcome to the platform first time. Not first time, we are meeting again. And Professor Mahesh T.S. from Laila Thangadi. Please correct my pronunciation if I'm wrong. He is from Department of Dravigon, Prasanna College of Ayurveda. Welcome, Dr. Mahesh. Welcome to the platform. And our Dr. G. Sivaram will also join. R&D scientist, Ayurnova from Hyderabad. So, VijayA. We are talking everything on VijayA. Without wasting much time, I would like to request Dr. Muralidhar Panchagnula. Pronunciation.
Panchagnula. No
Right,
problem.
sir.
No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. Shall I?
Welcome,
Shall
sir.
I start,
welcome.
sir?
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
My namaskar to everybody, whoever is participating in this webinar. And at the same time, welcome. Probably my Hindi may not be so explicit and so pure as yours is. So
kindly continue in English, sir.
You people may have to excuse me if at all I do any mistake in talking Hindi.
No.
Okay.
Our platform
Yeah.
is both for both the language.
I understand. Yeah. So without wasting much time, just I would like to share my screen. Please let me know whether my screen is visible.
Sure, please.
Yeah. Is it visible?
It is starting yet.
Is this visible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Clear.
Good evening to all. So to start with today's topic, as Dr. Prakash ji has already deliberated, it's majorly basically on cannabis, specifically a holistic and evidence-based approach to cannabis as a healthcare solution and a blue ocean. Probably many of you must be knowing blue ocean. Still, I'll deliberate at a later stage of my presentation. Yeah. So this is what Dr. PKSG has already told. And so let me start with Sri Dhanvantarye Namaha, Vishnu Swarupinye Namaha. So if we look at as Ayurveda, whatever the little knowledge that I could gain in Sanskrit, as you know, in Adharvana Veda, the Roga Sarvepi Nasyanti, Vipako Yasya Yajyate. It says very clearly that whoever has got a very good digestive capability will be getting relieved of or alleviated from any sort of diseases. That's what it is said as per Ayurveda also. You people are stalwarts in Ayurveda. You people can correct me if I am wrong wherever you feel that. You are at liberty to stop me in between and tell that you fellow you are wrong. So actually, this particular statement is proved by some of the diabetic patients also. Actually, they are disillusioned by synthetic drugs and they are found lasting relief through Ayurveda herbs like methi and jamun. These two are tried in many of the Ayurveda and health and wellness herbs and found that HbA1c, the glycated hemoglobin, also found to be decreasing in their thereby the disease progression is arrested. So this is one part of Ayurveda that we can confidently tell that. And the next one, if you see, it is said very clearly, Dhatu Samyam Kriyas Siddhihi. The moment you feel that dhatus, the ingredients, all, when the elements are all in balanced state, that itself will give you definitely a very good health. For example, a migraine, a sufferer of migraine, tired of lot of painkillers and embraced with the Shirodhara and Brahmi, it is said that he has witnessed a lot of relief from his migraine, and a lot of neurologists also authenticated, but out of the ego from allopathy. Of course, my dear friends, I am also basically from allopathy, but incidentally, I could find the value in alternative medicine. And incidentally, I am an advisory mentor to some of the AYUSH hubs also. So in this way, I am very much acquainted with all phases of healthcare, in which I could also realize that the Tridosha theory, Vata Pitta Kapha theory, definitely works out here when all the elements are in a balanced state. Then, if you see the next part of it, if you look at, yeah, the third part of Ayurveda, if you look at, it is said very clearly, yad yad aushadibhi karyam tat tat ahara samshodhanyah. So it says very clearly, whatever the medicine cannot cure, diet can cure very effectively. Whenever there is a gap in medicine versus the expected result, diet is the one which will come to the rescue and it will cure definitely. So this is one part of it what everybody need to realize. So diet has got a lot of profound role to play in curing any disease or in bringing about a control about any disease. Then the next ones, if you look at Prakrutim Yati Balavan, whoever is strengthy enough, he will follow the nature. He will definitely walk through the nature. Whoever is Balwan, whoever is a strengthy fellow, that shows Prakriti, the nature has got a lot of things to return back to us. The nature will give a lot of things to us. That is where now today's cannabis is lying over, and I am setting a platform to go into cannabis, a perspective that we will look into. And the last one which I would like to quote is Swastasya Swastya Rakshanam Aturasya Vikara Prasamsanam. It says very clearly, preserve the health of the healthy one. At the same time, when there is a diseased person or a person with a disease, it need to be cured. That is what the Vaidya Dharma, it says very clearly. Now, if you look at what exactly the cannabis is, a small perspective about cannabis, if you look at, cannabis is described in a lot of mythological aspects of it, and a lot of deities in the ancient mythology, they have recommended for healing and enlightenment. The cannabis is one such plant, one such, it is something like a kalpavruksha, something like we can compare. It's like which has come out of Sagar Mathan. We can compare it like that. That's what I strongly feel.
Your voice is not coming, doctor.
Oh, actually, is that slide shown? I'm not able to see the
Yes,
slide.
yes,
Huh?
yes. Cannabis described as sacred blood gifted by deity.
1 minute,
Shown.
1 minute. I don't know why this is
You
not
can
shown in
reshare.
my.
You can reshare. Stop share and reshare if any problem is there.
Yes, yes, that's what I am going to do. I'm resharing. I'm sorry. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, expected to play a transformative role in modern
It is
healthcare
first
management.
slide. First slide is visible.
Sorry, why is it?
Yes,
Now,
yes.
yeah. So, cannabis is expected to play a transformative role in modern healthcare management. It is very clear in a lot of the researches which you are going to see in the next coming up slides. And the therapeutic applications, if you see, the novel as well as holistic. But though it is a novel therapy, though it's going to give a novel approach towards the healthcare management, especially in pain relief and mental health, at the same time, there are a lot of evidence-based solutions that we are assured of. Because in the next speaker's notations or in the next speaker's deliberations, Dr. Mahesh will be able to give more insights into that. I am just touching upon the perspective of cannabis holistically as well as and how we can take it in a better perspective. So if we look at the perspective totally into cannabis, the medicinal parts in cannabis and their key chemicals, if you look at, because every part of cannabis tree or cannabis plant has got their own medicinal values. For example, the stem as well as leaves have got some chemical entities, and the flower as well as trichome has got some other entities. Now we are going to see those things separately. See, flowers and trichomes have got high medicinal value, which has got tetrahydrocannabinol as well as cannabinoids and cannabinogerol. It is these are all the chemical ingredients and elements which are available in flowers and trichomes. If you see leaves, it has got CBD and CBG, which has got mild effects, medicinal effects. And seeds and stems, basically they don't have much medicinal values, but they are highly nutritional, as well as it has got non-cannabinoid based elements in seeds and stems. But still, they have got very good nutritional value in that. But they are not having that psychoactive benefits which they offer. If you see THC, CBD, and CBG are the major ingredients of cannabis as a plant. THC is nothing but tetrahydrocannabinol. CBD is nothing but cannabidiol as well as cannabigerol. It is what CBG. Now, flowers, birds, and trichomes, if you look at, these three are very good at their medicinal value. And at the same time, the primary chemicals which are in their highest concentration are THC, CBG, and CBD. And other cannabinoids are also available in flowers and birds. They are of high medicinal value. And usage part of it, if you look at, they are used for pain relief, anxiety, epilepsy, and inflammation. Of course, recent past, we are looking at even the pain relief in cancer patients as well as in diabetic neuropathy and post-herpetic neuralgia. Actually, these three domains are where a lot of research is still going on, because cancer is the most unaddressed, otherwise not having much effects to bring about and to show a perceivable result for cancer patients. That's where now the research is going on through cannabis, how best that it can alleviate the pain with the cancer patients. Now, leaves, if you look at, there are two types of leaves in cannabis, the sugar leaves and fan leaves. Fan leaves are those which are around the inflorescence and the floral part of it, which are bigger in their size. If you see in the diagram in that yellow marked one here, if you see the central part, this is the flower and the inflorescence. Those leaves which are surrounding these particular floral part of it are known as sugar leaves. They are known as sugar leaves. And if you look at these leaves which are around the inflorescence, which are bigger ones, which are having photosynthetic capability, those are known as fan leaves. So these two type of leaves are having majorly CBD and CBG and traces of THC. Tetrahydrocannabinol is in a trace amount, whereas CBD and CBG are in their abundant quantities. That's where the usage of the leaves of cannabis, mostly through brewed through teas. In tea, they will use it and they will make juices of it, and they are used in tropicals for mild therapeutic effects. They will make the juice of it and they will make the patient to drink it to get some analgesic effect there. And it has got pain relief effect also, majorly. And if you look at trichomes, the trichomes are nothing but a part of the cannabis plant. If you see, this is the trichome. The trichome part, which will be like an inflorescence type of thing, which will be near the stem. This particular trichomes, it is tiny crystal-like resin gland. It's a resin gland. It's a type of resin gland which majorly consists of high density of THC, CBG, and CBD, and it has got.
Are you moving slide,
Hello?
sir?
Hello?
Third
Hello?
slide is visible yet.
Third slide is yet. I am seeing that it's not shared.
Okay. Third slide.
One.
Yes.
I will once again stop and go. I don't know why this is happening so. First time I am seeing this. Are you able to see? Dr. Prakash ji?
Yes, yes.
You are able to see the third slide with flowers, trichomes, and everything? Hello?
Third slide is their therapeutic application, novel, holistic, yet evidence-based solution for pain relief, mental health, and chronic disease treatment. This is visible.
Oh, this is the fourth slide I am projecting.
No fourth slide is visible. Third slide is visible.
This one is visible.
Third
Now?
is visible.
Now? Hello? Prakash ji, abhi medicinal parts in cannabis and their key chemicals.
Not that, sir. Only third slide is visible.
Exactly. I don't know what is happening. One moment. One moment.
Yes.
Now?
Yes, yes. Now it is visible.
Now it is visible. Medicinal parts.
Yes, please click.
Yeah.
Material is yet. Yes.
Flowers and trichomes. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Flowers and trichomes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Visible.
Yeah. So, shall I repeat this once again?
No need, sir. You
Yeah.
can continue. Now it is visible.
Yeah. Yeah. So, after trichomes, if we look at stems and stalks, which are having low medicinal value, these are basically used for nutritional purposes because it has got very minimal cannabinoids and mostly CBG. CBG will be there. but they are rich in fiber. If you see, cannabis as a plant used for fiber extraction also, and it has got a lot of other uses apart from the medicinal use, and it has got a very low amount of medicinal properties, whereas more of nutritional property we can see in stems and stalks. Seeds, basically no much cannabinoids, and they are highly nutritious, and primary chemicals are 0% of THC, CBD and CBG, but they are rich in omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, and they are rich in protein also. So as a dietary supplement for inflammation and skin health. Are you people able to see the slides, please?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
we can see.
Yeah. Now, if we see cannabinoids as cannabinoid system in our body, what are all the things available if we have a look at it? Human body consists of endocannabinoid system. Basically, the endocannabinoid system, endo as we already know, endo means within us. Endocannabinoid system within human being, whatever is existing, has got cannabinoid receptors and the ingredients of cannabis, and that's modulatory effects, whatever it give, the modes of action we will look into. Bharadwaj, ఇది ఎందుకో స్టక్ అవుతుందిరా.
You can WhatsApp me. I can share from myself.
Yeah. The human body, is it visible? Endocannabinoid
Yes,
system and cannabinoid receptors.
Yes, yes.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir, it
sir.
is visible.
Yeah. Human body has got endocannabinoid system and cannabinoid receptors. Basically, cannabinoid receptors are of two types, the 1 and 2. Cannabinoid receptor 1, basically cannabinoid receptor 1 is present majorly in brain and central nervous system, and some part of cannabinoid 1 receptors are present in lungs, liver and kidneys also. Whereas cannabinoid system receptors 2 majorly into immune cells as well as tissues. They play a very profound role in physiological processes like pain, appetite, mood, as well as sleep and memory. Basically, these cannabinoid receptors, they are part of the endocannabinoid systems, and specifically the uses of it naturally produced by cannabinoids, and majorly the naturally produced cannabinoids within human body are anandamide as well as 2-arachidonyl glycerol, 2-AG. It is known as 2-AG. Basically, they have got a regulatory effect on bodily functions, and at the same time, these endocannabinoids, they bind with cannabinoid receptors 1 and 2, and they bring the triggering cascade systems, which are the events that affect the various tissues and organs, specifically in brain, lungs, liver and kidney. But at the same time, I'm sorry, that is skin. Basically, that is skin. And skin and digestive system and reproductive system also, these cannabinoid triggered cascade will happen, and that bring a lot of good effects by modulating the immunomodulatory effects. It will bring lot of immunomodulatory effects also. And THC, CBD and CBG, if we look at separately about these three elements which are there in the endocannabinoid systems. Basically, tetrahydrocannabinol is, by nature, it is a psychoactive compound which is responsible for the high part of cannabis. When cannabis is consumed, that high mood levels which are there in a human being will be brought about by this tetrahydrocannabinol. Tetrahydrocannabinol is such an element which will have a neuromodulatory effect, and it will bring about that sort of highness in that behavior of the person, and that sort of high level of intellectual property that will be brought about. It is said that even in aghoras and lot of saints, when they inhale this bhang, this tetrahydrocannabinol is the one which will trigger the neuroactivation in them, and it will make them their psychology very active, and they will be having some supernatural powers also, which will be brought about by this inhalation of this tetrahydrocannabinol. And this is because it will be activated and it will be received by cannabinoid receptor system, which is there in the brain, which is CB1. And the mode of action is it activates CB1 receptors and altering the neurotransmitter release. The neurotransmitters like acetylcholine or GABA, whatever you say, whatever are the neurotransmitters, those are available in the brain, those will be released in an excessive quantity, and or the required quantities will be released, and the mood will be activated, where the mood elevation will happen and giving that supernatural powers in the thinking of that particular individual. And the perception and the pain, the perception of the pain also will be definitely reduced with this psychoactive mode of action of this tetrahydrocannabinol. CBD and CBG, if we look at, CBD is cannabidiol, and CBG is cannabigerol. CBD, if we look at, as a nature of the element, non-psychoactive, but it modulates the THC effects. It has got a modulatory mechanism on THC. Whatever tetrahydrocannabinol action is there, this CBD will activate and it will modulate its mechanism of action, its action also, and interacts with CB1 as well as CB2 receptors indirectly. The mode of action, basically, it antagonizes CB1 overactivation. That means it is having a sort of feedback mechanism. If CB1 is overactivated, this CBD controls its overactivation, making it in a balanced state. It enhances endocannabinoid tone and acts on serotonin and vanilloid receptors. It is having that action on serotonin as well as controlling the CB1 overactivation also. Now, going to cannabigerol, the nature of it is a minor non-intoxicating cannabinoid. It is not in an intoxicating type of element. It has got a non-intoxicating cannabinoid effect, and it's a precursor to THC and CBD, both. If we see, cannabidiol is a precursor, or it modulates the action of THC, whereas cannabigerol is having a modulatory effect on both CBD as well as THC. It has got a contemplating effect and controlling effect of overactivation also. It acts both on CB1 and CB2 receptors and acts as a mode of action, if we observe, acts as a partial agonist. Agonist means it increases the action. It promotes the action of CB receptors, inhibiting the GABA. Sometime back I was talking about acetylcholine and GABA. Gamma aminobutyric acid uptake will be inhibited and may influence serotonin receptors. Actually, this is where the anxiolytic effect of CBG can be found. Now, cannabis, as if you look at cannabis as a plant, user and usage based. This is a marketing terminology. Usage based means in number of indications. Whatever are the indications that where we can use cannabis is usage based. User base is the people who are using this particular product are known as user base. Usage is the number of indications in which we can use cannabis, that is known as user base. If we look at cannabis as a user base, it can be used in cancer pain. It can be used, as the evidence says, in diabetic neuropathy. I think most of you definitely will be knowing diabetic neuropathy is such a horrible situation and it's such a painful condition. People, in fact, they weep and they will request for mercy killing also. Such a type of agonious situation which diabetic neuropathy creates in the human being. And post-herpetic neuralgia, this is another highly painful condition where the herpes infection, after the reduction of herpes infection, the nerve path which is affected by this herpes virus will have profound pain. Wherever the nerve path goes, all those organs will have such a painful condition. Even the patient will be having unbearable pain. That's where cannabis is now tried and used with an evidence base. In cancer pain, in the major users, now cancer pain is a usage, and user base for cancer pain is Ayush practitioners, and our own Dr. Mahesh, who is going to be the next speaker, he is one of such users for cancer pain. The cannabis is used highly by him. And there is one person in North, Dr. Aryan Mittal. You can see him in LinkedIn. This person has got a lot of evidence-based studies on so many patients on cancer pain with cannabis. And a lot of oncologists, consultant physicians, and a lot of cancer institutes. In fact, Tata Memorial Cancer Institute and Kidwa Institute, I am trying to go for a touch base to look at once we, if everything goes fruitfully, we can initiate with those institutes. And all terminal illness institutes also. Even we can think about even Institute of Liver and Biliary Diseases, ILBS in Delhi, New Delhi. Those people are also.
परसों बुधवार को
Now, under the cancer pain, if we look at, that is what the studies I have given, what is the evidence base as of now available. Nabiximol. Nabiximol is a drug where it's the brand name, where it has got a spray, it has got a oral solution, where it is tried in the abroad, in the global scenario also, where there is a randomized clinical trial, which is done by Boland and Boland. Those two are the people who have done, and Lichman et al. Lichman et al. Is the team who have done this research, and it is published in Journal of Pain and Symptom Management. These details I'll give if anybody requires. And the second one is diabetic neuropathy, where the users are Ayush practitioners, endocrinologists, diabetics, consultant physicians, and lifestyle disease specialists are also having that capability to use cannabis in diabetic neuropathy, where health and wellness centers are also going to apply, if at all we fruitfully bring this. This is particular study which I am projecting here has been published in JAMA Neurology, Journal of American Medical Association. In that neurology journal, it is published in 2022, where the pain medicine, in the Journal of Pain Medicine, and they discussed about the role of cannabis in chronic pain, including diabetic neuropathy. Now, if we look at the next one, post-herpetic neuralgia, again, the users are Ayush practitioners, dermatologists. Here we take dermatologists into consideration, because lots of herpes cases are dealt by dermatologists and partially neurologists also. So that's why I mentioned the users are those people. For post-herpetic neuralgia, the cannabis can be used more effectively by these practitioners. Now, if we go to the cannabis as a healthcare solution and blue ocean in healthcare industry, if we look at cannabis as a healthcare solution is fine. As a healthcare solution, in our earlier slides, we could discuss and deliberate much. Then what is this blue ocean? I am very sure those people who are marketing professionals in this group will be able to appreciate and understand what I mean by blue ocean. Normally, in any industry or in any market, now I am entering into how to market cannabis, how to market the concept of cannabis as a healthcare solution. Blue ocean, in any marketing strategy or in any industry, there will be two types of oceans. One is red ocean, the other one is blue ocean. Red ocean means a place or an industry in which a lot of players are promoting their own products. They are fighting with each other. That means बाहा-बाही युद्ध हो रहा है उसमें वो बाहा-बाही युद्ध में खून बहा रहा है, इसीलिए it has become red ocean. That means with a lot of competition, vengeance, with a lot of targeted vision, they will be fighting with each other, shedding their blood. That's why it has become red. That's why too many competitors operating in one market, that particular market is known as red ocean. The market in which there are no still lot of players available, there are no still lot of products available, it is still in a blue ocean. Normally will be the color of the ocean will be blue. That's why it is still in a blue condition, blue color, because too many players are not there in that ocean. That's why it is known as blue ocean. Why I called blue ocean is cannabis as a healthcare solution. There are no too many players in the healthcare industry. Probably 1 or 2 players just entered and they are yet to get established themselves. If we people can take this forward and do some effect, bring about some effect, we will be entering into a blue ocean. That's why I have named this as blue ocean. Now, if we look at cannabis as a product, it has got entourage effect. Entourage effect, the simple meaning is that too many elements or too many pronged attack can be assured by cannabis. Cannabis as a product, as a plant, it has got so many things like THC, CBD, terpenes, flavonoids, all these things from different parts of the plant are going to give a synergistic effect. What is synergy? Synergy is 1 plus 1 becoming 2 is normal. 1 plus 1 becoming 3, 4 is nothing but a synergy. Synergy means 2, 3 elements bringing about a lot of multifactorial effect is nothing but a synergy. So entourage effect is defined as too many contributing factors from one point giving a profound effect of multifactorial approach is nothing but entourage effect. The entourage effect is affected or ensured by cannabis as a plant because in the last few slides we have seen in each part of the cannabis there are different types of elements and each element has got a either contemplatory effect to another element or it will be having a promoting effect of another element. For example, we have seen THC will be either contemplated or controlled. Overactiveness of THC will be controlled by CBD and CBG controls both CBD and THC. In the last slide we have seen that is what is known as multi-target therapeutic potential, which is known as entourage effect, which will be ensured by cannabis. So the cannabis which is providing THC, CBD, CBG, terpenes and flavonoids is basically having a synergistic effect which it will bring about through endocannabinoid system, which regulates pain, inflammation, mood and immunity. The holistic edge of cannabis is, holistic means the total coverage that it ensures is, cannabis offers a whole plant personalized medicine approach, reducing the polypharmacy risks because too many medications taking for one disease will have too much side effects also. So polypharmacy risks will be reduced by single drug from cannabis. So it is a no single molecular pharmacy. It's not a just a molecular pharmacy or it is not having any polypharmacy risks. So applying one cannabis will give multifactorial effects. That's why it is the holistic edge that is offered by cannabis. Now we will see what is the blue ocean. So far, there is no single pathway targeting available in the especially fields like pain, epilepsy and anxiety. In pain, epilepsy and anxiety, if you see, benzodiazepines are used, phenytoin sodium is used, phenobarbital is used, and even sometimes amitriptyline is also used in epilepsy and to control pain also. Whereas such multi-drugging or polypharmacy is not required when cannabis is successfully researched and successfully having an evidence base. It will give only a single pathway targeting with its application. That's why that is the blue ocean opportunity for this multi-targeted therapeutic effect of cannabis. Now, the second aspect, if you see, non-addictive and alternative to opioids and benzodiazepines. If you see diazepam, you must have seen many of the people, you must be knowing Valium, Compose, all these things are given for sedation as well as to reduce as anxiolytics. And if you see antidepressants, there are a lot of antidepressants like fluoxetine, SSRIs. Those are known as selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Those things will give the serotonin reuptake will be inhibited, through which the anxiety will be reduced. The overexcitation of the neuron will be reduced by inducing SSRIs like fluoxetine, dothapine. Dothapine, you must have heard the brand name Prothidine. All these things need not be used. If you see Compose or Valium or Trica, all these things and even diazepam, Compose, benzodiazepines, those particular drugs are having addictive effects. they will become abused. They have got a lot of abuse potential. Whereas cannabis doesn't have any addictive effect, and it can be a non-addictive alternative to opioids as well as benzodiazepines, because studies show that CBC and THC reduce the opioid dependence, and at the same time, medical cannabis states reports says that 25% fewer opioid deaths. Opioid deaths are lessened by 25%. So the holistic edge of cannabis is that cannabis can replace or reduce the reliance or the dependability on addictive painkillers and sleep aids and anxiolytics. The root cause addressed rather than the symptoms. That is what the major advantage of cannabis. And the blue ocean here is the opioid crisis leaves a gap for safer, natural analgesic effect. At the same time, cannabis fills this unmet need. This need is yet to be met. That's why it is a blue ocean opportunity. The third part of it is neuroprotective and mental health benefits. The neuroprotective aspect, because the axon, the axon sheath, the myelin sheath which is there on the axon of the nerve will be protected. That's where the cause of diabetic neuropathy is. On the myelin sheath which is present on the axon of the nerve will be damaged, because of which the pain sensation will be hyperactive there. That's the reason in diabetic neuropathy, the myelin sheath of that particular diabetic patient will be gone in all the nerve pathway. That's the reason why diabetic neuropathy is highly painful. That's where that neuroprotective and neuromodulatory effect will be given by cannabis. It protects the myelin sheath. That's where it is an alternative for other like pregabalin, if you see, methylcobalamin. All these things are used as neuroprotective medicines. Pregabalin should not be used beyond certain stage. It is maximum 75 milligrams, 150 milligrams per day, or maximum they go up to 300 milligrams. Once they cross that, people will get ataxia. They cannot stand properly. That ataxia, neuronal ataxia, can be avoided with over usage of pregabalin and all by using cannabis, if at all we are successful in projecting this as a concept. So now THV, if you look at tetrahydrocannabivaran, it is THV is another ingredient which shows a promise in Parkinson's disease as well as Alzheimer's disease. This is very clearly shown in Frantian's Journal of Neurology in 2021. The low doses of THC as well as CBD, it reduces post-traumatic stress disorder, because this PTSD is another important indication in neurologist's front. Because when there is any trauma, when there is any accident, this post-traumatic stress disorder suddenly will have that attack in the patient. That will be reduced by the presence of THC and CBD in cannabis. And anxiety, in the Journal of Affective Disorders in 2020, there is a proof that cannabis has got a profound effect of reducing anxiety, becoming as a good anxiolytic also. So the holistic edge in bringing about neuroprotective and mental health benefits is that, unlike selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors or antipsychotics, cannabis has got a modulatory effect rather than suppressing or inhibiting effect. Please understand, the moment you start using the suppressing or inhibitory type of SSRIs or antipsychotics, the brain will have a lot of damage in its chemistry, whereas cannabis avoids that. That is the holistic approach. Now the blue ocean opportunity here is mental health market is booming, yet plant-based neuroprotection is underutilized. Now, for example, St. John's wort. St. John's wort is one plant from which there is one product by name Moodon. It is an Ayurvedic product brought about by Alchem Pharmaceuticals. It was a fantastic success, in fact, in psychiatry segment. But people cannibalized it due to bringing about some other neuropsychiatric product. That is the unfortunate part. Moodon was a fantastic product. In fact, I launched that product in Alchem Burgeon. That's the division. That was a fantastic product. Anyway, that's a different ball game and story. Now, if we see, this is probably my last slide. Anti-inflammatory and immunomodulatory effect of cannabis, if we look at, Evidence says that CBG and CBD reduce chronic inflammation, which is linked with autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune diseases, if you look at even SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus, is also another autoimmune disease where, in fact, I was talking to Dr. Mahesh. We can look at IBS. Everybody knows irritable bowel syndrome as well as inflammatory bowel syndrome. Actually, Crohn's disease, you must have heard, you people must have heard about Crohn's disease, which is in the small intestine. Lot of inflammatory bowel diseases, IBD, we call it as inflammatory bowel diseases and Crohn's disease. That's where a lot of studies are available that cannabis is tried and there is a good profound effect. Even in arthritis cases also, which is an autoimmune disorder, we can try even cannabis. The THC may help even HIV, human immunovirus patients as well as cancer patients by stimulating the appetite and reducing nausea. Specifically in cancer treatments, if you look at, especially when there is a chemotherapy that is given, lot of nauseating symptoms, lot of, they don't even eat a spoon of food also sometimes. I have seen many such patients. In fact, Dr. Mahesh was telling the other day, his aunt was tried with cannabis. He will tell you anyway. I don't want to steal his deliberations. Sorry, Dr. Mahesh. And holistic edge, if you look at, as far as inflammatory, anti-inflammatory. Yeah, another 1 minute, sir.
Right, sir.
Yeah, blue ocean of this is autoimmune diseases. They lack safe and long-term treatments where cannabis can be one. And integrative and preventive healthcare model, if we look at, the evidence says that cannabis supports endocannabinoid tone. It supports and as well as balances the tone of endocannabinoid system as such. And it is crucial for homeostasis. The balance of the body functions, it is very crucial. That integrative and preventive healthcare effect will be brought about by cannabis, where the blue ocean says that in wellness industry, basically the worth of wellness industry is estimated to go beyond $4.5 trillion, which is clinically backed with a plant medicine by name cannabis, which bridges the gap between pharma and holistic care. The conclusion of my presentation says only one thing: by positioning cannabis as a multi-system regulator, non-addictive alternative, neuroprotectant, anti-inflammatory agent, and integrative wellness solution, we can create a blue ocean strategy which is untapped with an evidence-based and holistically superior one to the conventional pharmaceuticals. So with this, I definitely will say thank you to all. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, time has been 1 hour has passed because your presentation is so mesmerizing that I couldn't stop you. Otherwise, in 1 hour, 3 lectures are planned actually. So
Sir, I
thank
was
you.
given
Thank
at
you,
9:50, sir. I was given the presentation at 9:50.
सर मैं तो ये
right, sir.
Anyway,
सर मैं
thank
तो
you.
ये कहूंगा कि इस विषय पे 1 घंटा सर को और भी सुना जा सकता है और
जरूर
और
जरूर जरूर
कल
इतना सुंदर
या
था, कहीं रोकने की इच्छा ही नहीं हुई, इतना साइंटिफिक था स्पीच और प्रेजेंटेशन दोनों, कि रियली ग्रेट। मुरलीधर सर, आप जुड़ते रहिएगा, आपका आशीर्वाद हमें जरूर लगेगा। हम आपके आशीर्वाद के प्रार्थी हैं। नाउ आई वुड लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट डॉक्टर टी महेश 15 मिनट्स। टी महेश सर, क्योंकि हम सीरीज कर रहे हैं तो हम कभी भी दोबारा भी कर सकते हैं,
नहीं,
लेकिन
इसको
हमारे नेक्स्ट
पंडित जी इस विषय को एक दिन पूरा का पूरा एक ही
अरे अब
वीडियो में
आप
रिकॉर्ड
बात मत करो, आप फोन कर लेना। तो आप सुबह से मुझसे पूछे भी नहीं लिंक की, अभी पूछ रहे हैं, तो आप मेरे को सजेशन फोन पे दे देना।
ठीक।
मैं डॉक्टर महेश जी को सादर आमंत्रित करता हूं उनके वक्तव्य।
So, very good evening and hello.
I would like to request both the speakers kindly share your PPT for my enlightenment, and really I will be grateful to you for welcome महेश जी।
डॉक्टर पवन साहब, मैं आपको ये पीपीटी इसके बाद आपको भेज दूंगा प्रेजेंटेशन। हेलो।
Yeah, Dr. Mahesh, we are able to listen to you.
Yeah.
Welcome,
So,
welcome, Mahiji. Please.
good evening to all, and thank you for the opportunity given by Dr. Pavan for keeping my views regarding research and development in cannabis or hemp, which is also the common name of that. So, what is before we go ahead, I believe that I should give my solutions to this great personality, Dr. Raphael Mechoulam of Israel, who did a tiresome job from 1960 to around 1996 to bring this cannabis and its medicinal values to the forefront. So I just quote his words. I believe cannabinoids represent a medical treasure waiting to be discovered. So it was he who discovered the first component of endocannabinoid system, namely the first endocannabinoid or anandamide or AEA. So, as we go on with this, with my solutions to this great personality. So what is research? Research is just a systematic investigation into the study of materials and sources in order to establish certain facts and reach new conclusions. Whereas development is the systematic work of increasing this knowledge and using it to develop new products, processes, and services. So we speak of cannabis as research. So we are trying to investigate it as what is the particular thing that is causing different aspects. And from that knowledge, which is helpful in different medical conditions or to act as solutions in different aspects of rise in global interest in cannabis. So as Dr. Muller just pointed out, the different phases of this of cannabis through the interconnections gave us to level of adoption, which gave rise or that paved way medical research. Now, it led to the increase of therapeutic research, understanding of different activities that the cannabis will do. So this gave rise to different aspects like how this particular thing is acting in case of cancer, in case of diabetic neuropathy, or in case of pain management, and in case of psychological conditions, etc. They made the domain of the research interest on cannabis much more than it was in the past. Now, again, the legal interest. Now, post, especially in the 1996, when the state of California eased the legal condition of cannabis, leading to the first state of US to be considering this cannabis as a legally allowed substance. So, wherein many countries continued, as 100 odd countries today, agree to provide the system or to provide this cannabis as a medicine for different conditions. So, economic importance, now new field of interest to invest in with the promisable income has made it. So that has raised the global interest in cannabis. Social justice movement, which is advocating controlled and decriminalization of the use of cannabis, is another, especially in the European states. Then cultural shift, prominent use of certain culture and tradition, leading to the change in perception of the same. Lastly, international trade, which is due to the increased market volumes, so which may go up to trillions of dollars over a period of time, say 2030. So all these different factors have led to the increase in the interest on cannabis. Now let's go into the history a bit. 18 cannabinoid that was discovered is CBN, and at this point of time, cannabis was under the US and British pharmacopoeia. So it was considered as a medicine, and they were using it for, especially for the management of pain. In fact, it is told that even Queen Victoria is given cannabis to treat her dysmenorrhea. This is a reference in British Medical Journal. Then the first thing that is at present, which is of interest, that is CBD, was discovered in the year 1940. At this moment of time, the use of cannabis was restricted for many reasons, and everyone was interested to know what is the drug or what is the component of cannabis that is causing psychological conditions, and that led to the discovery of THC in the year 1960. And the person who discovered this THC is Raphael Mission. Now this also gave the one more component, that is CBG. So totally we have present the known cannabinoids are around 125. Along with that, you have terpenes, etc. So which goes up to 300 phytoconstituents from cannabis. What happens? One, which is similar, having a similar molecular similarity, and that is AEA in the year 1992, which led to the opening of a new system, and that is endocannabinoid system. Now, this endocannabinoid system with cannabinoids is what totally known as medical cannabis. The complete understanding of this endocannabinoid system was completed, or the mapping of this endocannabinoid system was completed in the year 2013. And the first company on cannabis, and company in the year 2014 in India. Impact of cannabis on the research of, especially research on Ayurveda. First one, Ayurveda uses this particular plant in different formulations. So where around 158 formulations are there, out of which 30 odd formulations are mainly to the GI tract problems. So it was very well known that it is a known drug for various medicinal use. So the validation of these traditional use becomes important. So where the research on cannabis validates this particular thing. Refinement in the formulations also can be done. Integration of cannabis research into Ayurveda will lead to better understanding and better use of these drugs. Understanding of holistic approach and its contribution to all makes the health benefits that will be useful in validating Ayurvedic knowledge with research conditions. Other than this, we can also have a detailed understanding effect of cannabis on each dosha. We can also go on with the research-driven safety protocols, medical legitimization, and complementing or support to other systems of medicine for better well-being. So research has also led to the cannabinoids and knowledge of cannabinoids, and in that we also help in conditioning it or using in a proper manner by understanding its implications on the body and mind. So whereas we have 125 cannabinoids that has been identified, but to be very frank, only two have been very highly explored, that is CBD or cannabidiol and THC, tetrahydrocannabinol. Now, other than this, we have CBG, CBN, and all these are yet to be completely studied. There are bits and pieces, but not completely studied. Not to the extent, at least, of CBD and THC. Now, phytocannabinoids or endocannabinoids, they act on receptors. And these receptors with endocannabinoids and its metabolizing enzymes totally forms this endocannabinoid system. Now, this endocannabinoid system, as I told, was mapped in the year recently, in the year 2013, not even 20 years. Or endocannabinoid system led to the emergence of an offshoot in medicine known as medical cannabis. Now, the major components of endocannabinoid system ethyl, endocannabinoid, ethanolamide, and 2-AG, 2-ethylglycerol. These are the two endocannabinoids that was primarily discovered in the year 92 and 94. But now we have many more, that is NEA, N-ethanolamide, then PEA, then we have virodamine, etc., etc. There are many, Orlandin ether, etc. Now these are different cannabinoids that is synthesized within the body. The increase of this has led to a greater known as endocannabinoid dome. It includes all the endocannabinoids, receptors and enzymes. Along with that, there are some other things like T1, that is vanilla receptors, and other many PPR, AR gamma receptors, etc., which is an extension of these endocannabinoid system and being used for different purposes, so which totally forms the endocannabinoid dome. Now, what is the concept of medical cannabis? After profound research, the components of the cannabis, that is cannabinoids, and its interaction with ECS, that is endocannabinoid system, along with its derivatives and products to treat different ailments, they totally is the components of medical cannabis. Of course, the key point or the key plant is cannabis, but other than that, you can get cannabinoids with certain other things like pepper, turmeric, etc. But the composition or concentration of cannabinoids are very low. So the greatest source of cannabinoids is cannabis itself. So there are different areas of research now. That is, one is product innovation. How better we can give a product. For example, to enhance the bioavailability of cannabis. For example, again, when I speak of bioavailability, the highest amount of absorption takes place when it is given sublingually and or smoked. That is around 40%. But when it is taken as it is like oral consumption, only 5% is seen as bioavailable. But smoking and sublingually, to a certain extent, gives a discomfort to the user. So because of which, product innovation is required. Effective conditions for treatment and innovative approaches so that bioavailability, along with that, the intake is also causing less discomfort to the patient. So presently, what are the known conditions with this particular drug is chronic. It is useful in the chronic pain. It is useful in neurological conditions. It is useful in pain in cancer, especially psychological health and other inflammatory conditions. So with this, these are the known things, but it may have or it has impact into different other systems also where the use of this medical cannabis is possible. So only research, in detail or in-depth research can give more light or can put more light on this. Present status of R&D in cannabis, that is, research is on basically for medical benefit, pharmaceutical development, that is innovation on products, development innovations like uh, how better we can use not only for medicine but also for non-medicinal purposes like fibers, rope, etc. Technological innovations can also be used, or we can also use we can also need or we also need technological innovations for a greater yield of these extracts from this cannabis or cannabinoids from cannabis. Agriculture innovations for better crops and quicker crops, higher yield crops of the particular things, that is cannabinoids, either THC or CBD, and accordingly use it for different purposes. Next one is the evidence gaps and the clinical trials. So where the evidence gaps with respect to the claim and the understanding that can be filled with activity and also clinical trials with understanding how it acts on different patients. Other than this, the evidence gaps of its various uses can also be understood or with respect to different technological innovations. So R&D in medical cannabis, that is cancer treatment and neuro diseases, inflammation, autoimmune diseases, addictions, extraction methods, cultivation methods, bio genetics and breeding. So all these are different areas where R&D is very much needed with respect to medical cannabis, and it can grow up into a different offshoot within this medical systems. Areas of research interest, which is again breeding and genetics, extraction methods. So all this, which is again like novel products. So novel products means how better we can enhance the product availability within so that the intake is less, but the effect is what we require. So as I told, oral only 5% is absorbed into the system. So what happens? Basically 20% is absorbed from the gut, but 15% of that gets totally metabolized in liver. So the ultimate reach of this particular thing is 5%. So how better we can develop a product to enhance the bioavailability so that optimum use of this drug is possible. Synthetic replication, of course, it has some problems. But
Your voice is interrupted, Dr. Mahesh. Voice is not coming. Your voice is not coming, doctor.
Dr. Mahesh, since some time your voice is cracking.
Your voice is not audible, Dr. Mahesh. You are not audible, Dr. Mahesh. मैं पारुल जी से और रामवीर जी से प्रार्थना करता हूं केवल 5 मिनट वेट करने की. डॉक्टर महेश, यू आर नॉट ऑडिबल. hope our not going there.
डॉक्टर महेश, डॉक्टर महेश, डॉक्टर महेश।
Dr. Mahesh, are we able to reach you? बिल्कुल आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है। डॉक्टर महेश, आप जो बोल रहे हैं हम नहीं सुना पा रहे हैं।
सचिन जी एक बार महेश मुरलीधर सर,
मैं फोन कर रहा हूँ, ही इज नॉट लिफ्टिंग।
नहीं सुनिए ना, सुनिए ना, ये एक प्रेजेंटेशन आप लोगों के दोनों के हम दोबारा चाहेंगे, और केवल आप दोनों रहेंगे। 1.5 घंटे का वो टाइम देंगे स्लॉट, आप लोग जब सुविधा में हो, क्योंकि आज ये मतलब मन नहीं भर पाया। दिल की बात बता रहा हूँ, आप दोनों के इतने शानदार प्रेजेंटेशन है, रियली एनलाइटिंग। मैं भांग में पीएचडी कर रहा हूँ तो अभी मुझे नई नई चीजें मालूम पड़ रही हैं। मैं रियली ग्रेटफुल हूँ आप लोगों का कि आप लोगों ने शानदार समझाया। मैं फिर अरेंज करूंगा, मैं बात करूँ, मैं फिर अरेंज करूंगा, 3-4 दिन में ही अरेंज करूंगा। जैसे ही स्लॉट मिलता है फिर मैं अरेंज करूंगा। आप कहेंगे 10 बजे से आखिरी वेबिनार रखेंगे तो टाइम की कोई लिमिट नहीं रहेगी। लेकिन मेरा मन बहुत शानदार प्रेजेंटेशन, एक्सीलेंट एक्सीलेंट एक्सीलेंट, इससे ज्यादा कोई शब्द नहीं है मेरे पास। अब मेरे को सीखा सचिन जी,
बहुत
प्लीज
शानदार था
कंक्लूड।
जी, बहुत। ये तो बहुत शानदार था
बहुत
डॉक्टर
शानदार।
महेश, शानदार था। मेरे को लगता है
थैंक
कि
यू,
एक एक
थैंक यू सर।
दोनों डॉक्टर साहब को एक एक घंटे के लिए हमको समय देना चाहिए फिर से। और बहुत
डॉक्टर
शानदार
महेश
रहा।
डॉक्टर महेश, आपका पिछले